Hi ladies. So I've popped on a little bit earlier so I can give the lovely Karen a chance to find me and be able to join the interview. Apologies, it's a little bit earlier in the day, but obviously we have our menopause walk this evening at 7, so couldn't do the live at 7, but obviously many of you can catch up later on with the interview, and you can still, just in the news feed below the video, you can just pop any questions or queries you have, and myself or Karen will try and come back to you with any questions. So Karen Norris, also known as Holistic Yogi, is a yoga health and nutritionist specialist. She is also an Ayurvedic and holistic wellness coach. That felt like a bit of a mouthful. So she specialises in women's health, particularly through perimenopause. So we're going to be talking a little bit today about obviously yoga, nutrition, a little bit about Ayurveda, which is a complementary therapy that runs alongside yoga. It's a very ancient holistic well-being program. So she's going to chat a little bit about this, particularly for those of you that can't take HRT. And not necessarily, even if you are taking HRT, it doesn't actually solve all issues, does it? So it'll be nice to sort of delve into these complementary things and see how this can help you. So I'm going to give it a few minutes and hopefully we will have Karen with us in a second. So fingers crossed. She should be with us in a second, hopefully.
No, I can't hear you at the moment. Can you hear me? Oh my God. Oh, I don't know what's happening here. That's strange. I can't hear you. Don't know what's happening. Why? I think you're muted, actually.
I don't know. Jo, can you hear me talking? Oh, okay.
That's it. That's it. That's good now.
I've probably just been talking then for 5 minutes and probably not been heard on the video at all.
Oh, well.
So I was just explaining who you are. But I'll let you do that. I'll let you have a little chat and tell people what you are and what you do.
Oh, okay. Hi. Yeah. So hi everybody, my name is Karen. So I have been into health and wellness and holistic health, well actually health and wellness now for the 20, almost probably 25 years. These started to lose count.
Yeah.
So I've been in the health and fitness industry, a nutrition specialist as well. It's really over the last probably how long now? Probably about 7 years, I guess, when I started to then incorporate. I did my yoga teacher training, I think it was in 2018.
Mm.
I'd always been interested in like the more holistic side of things. So it was from my yoga teacher training that I was introduced into Ayurveda,
Mm.
which really had, yeah, it just really lit me up the moment I heard about it. And I was like, I need to know more of this. So
Yeah.
since then, I've been teaching. I still do the fitness and nutritional side of
Mm.
things, but I've veered more onto the more holistic realms of yoga and incorporating the Ayurveda
Yeah.
lifestyle as well. So yes, that's what, and obviously, and myself in that time, I've kind of transitioned, or I didn't want to admit to it in the first place, but like going through that perimenopausal stage of the highs and lows and the ups and downs.
Yeah.
um, Originally, I was trying to pinpoint all my symptoms on all other things, and like, you start Googling, you're like, oh, what's wrong with me? I've got adrenal fatigue, or why am I haven't got the energy to do things? Why am
Yeah.
I not sleeping properly? And then, and I think it's only really in the last few years, isn't it, that I think that people are talking more openly about perimenopause, menopause.
Yeah.
So, and then once I kind of um, found the right point of, okay, this is actually what's going on.
Mm.
That's when I really delved into Ayurveda even more,
Yeah.
studied it more deeply to then, and actually since I've been using Ayurveda as quite a as part of my lifestyle, sort of really holistically with the the modern day science as well that I
Yeah.
previously had. It's really transformed in every way. So,
Mm.
and it's whilst I say I don't not get symptoms, it's I know what I've done wrong. Um,
Yeah.
so yeah, so it's interesting. It's been a journey. It's an ongoing one, and now that I've sort of learned what I have learned, it's just I want to
Yeah.
share it to
Everyone
everyone else. It's like,
else.
yeah,
Yeah.
there are ways to deal with it as opposed to thinking about, oh well, that's it. I'm this age now, my health's going to decline. I'm at the end of
Mm.
my road. I've just got to take. I've just got one option to go on hormone replacement therapy or whatever.
Mm.
I do think there's a lot of other natural ways that we can go about dealing with things.
Yeah, totally. Because we were saying, weren't we, when we were chatting the other week, how we've changed in the sense of our fitness personally, how we used to love the gym, um, the harder core sort of weightlifting, and obviously
Yes.
we'll sort of touch onto that because obviously that, strength training is still very much needed. But our body's changed. And I think not so much on the menopause, I think it's the perimenopause where you really kind of struggle with what you actually need for your body. I mean, how would you say a woman should adapt her fitness routine when she's going through sort of
Yeah.
perimenopause?
I mean, there's definitely an adaptation to take place, isn't there?
Mm.
So it also depends with the journey the woman's already been on. So if
Yeah.
it's from a person that's very much, and I find that because I still have quite a lot of like personal training clients, should I say, and they've also
Yeah.
going through that transition, and it's encouraging them to actually they need to slow down and listen
Mm.
to their body, whereas before it was like, harder. It's not my weight isn't dropping, so I need to train harder
Mm.
and more, and they don't realize the negative impact it's having on their body.
Mm.
So for instance, like the typical cardio queen,
Yeah.
I don't know if you used to hear that when you're back in the gym days. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
didn't we all love our
Yeah.
cardio? But it's not necessarily the right, well, it isn't,
Mm.
hours of cardio isn't beneficial to us.
Mm.
It's, and you've got to think about the stress hormones, it's the cortisol it's activating when we're exercising for longer periods of time.
Mm.
So whilst we think I'm not doing good enough, I need to work harder, and almost like punishing ourselves as well, I think, isn't it? It's
Yeah.
like, oh, why is my body not responding? And how we
Mm.
talk negatively to our body, but our body is asking for something different.
Exactly.
It's
Yeah.
asking for a change in what we do.
Yeah.
So, and
And
it's understanding what it needs, it's slowing it down.
that's the thing, isn't it? I think it is that we feel like we shouldn't be slowing down in a society where it's pushing us to do more and more and more. And particularly if you've been somebody that has trained a lot, done, not necessarily a gym person, you might have been a runner or something else. And we're not saying that you shouldn't do these things anymore. anymore, but you've got to kind of start to listen to what your body needs, because as you just mentioned with your hormones, when you're stressing your body in that way, you know, your body needs the cortisol to do those things.
Yes.
But when you get to perimenopause and your hormones are all over the place, you're actually, like you said, putting more stress on yourself and just spiking the cortisol levels.
Yes. Yeah. And I think what we don't realize the kind of negative impact it has. So people
Mm,
think they're going to push harder, but actually you're working against the actual results you're looking for.
mm,
And I used to say that actually even before perimenopause, there's a point where you can train too much too long and the body's
yeah.
going to respond in a different way. But as
Mm,
obviously we're coming into this stage of our lives, it's even more crucial to be looking at that side of things. And you
mm,
know, our body's already, you know, depleted and fatigued, so it's like
mm,
the first thing we want to do is put even more stress on
yeah.
it. So it's understanding better ways
Mm,
to look after our
mm,
body, rather than,
yeah.
it's, yeah, as you say, it's not giving it up, is it? It's
No.
choosing better ways and understanding we're supporting
Yeah.
ourselves by
Yeah.
maybe opting for that extra day of rest, or
Mm,
cutting that workout in half.
yeah. Just listening to your body, really, isn't it?
Yeah,
Different days you're going to feel like you need different things. And it is that kind of, you know, I was always kind of in the thing when I was training, you know, and we competed in the
yeah,
same kind of thing. You kind of got up and you pushed yourself, even on those mornings when you didn't feel like that. Whereas
yeah,
now it's learning to think, I actually can't push myself today. What do I
no,
need instead? Maybe I'll just roll out my yoga mat, or maybe I'll just do a bit of breathing. It's that listening, isn't it, to
yes.
what, and tuning in to what your body needs.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
Mm.
definitely.
Yeah,
Yeah, and I think yoga probably, certainly for myself, it couldn't have come at a better time in my
yeah,
life without realizing
yeah.
it. So back
Exactly.
in the days of like yourself, as we found
Yeah,
out, we both did that competing lifestyle.
yeah.
It was, for me, I was terrible. It was like, oh no, don't want to stretch. It's like, push harder. I need another
Harder,
50,
yeah.
yeah, 15 minutes longer exercising. Well, what's the point of
Mm,
stretching?
mm.
But obviously there's lot more to it than just stretching, isn't it?
Exactly, yeah. And I think that's what people, they see yoga as just being stretching quite often.
Yes,
You know, there's different types of yoga, isn't there? So it's kind of
absolutely.
like, you know, sometimes you might want something quite restorative, quite slow. Other times you can actually get strength training
Yeah,
within yoga, and strength and obviously stability are really, really important. Um, I mean, a lot of people really encourage strength training, don't they, during
yes,
menopause and stuff
yes,
for your bones.
yeah.
And yeah, what would your
So
advice be?
yeah, so definitely, I think again we can sort of veer on. Oh, I need to, especially if it's looking at, oh, suddenly I've gained this little bit of belly fat around my tummy or whatever
Mm,
it is. We think, can't do strength training, don't want to get bigger. People are,
mm,
we're still very much in that way of being smaller is better, and not
yeah,
thinking about increasing our muscle. But actually, isn't it from the age of 30, 30 or 30 something plus, we start losing
yeah,
a certain percentage of muscle mass per
yeah,
year, and if we don't maintain it, and the issue with that is, one, more likely we're going to get injured, and that comes with the
mm,
bone density as well. So strength training is super important to
mm,
keep our muscle. It's also speeding the metabolism up, so
mm,
that's going to keep us, you know, healthier, supportive for longer, rather
yeah,
than, you know, if we're thinking about just running cardio work, we're
mm,
almost working against the body.
yeah,
But I mean, I know more women now are doing the strength training, and even sort of from
yeah,
mine and your days of like the um, bikini and body fitness competing, it
yeah.
has made muscle more attractive, hasn't it?
It
Whereas,
has, yeah,
but
because I think there was that real thing, like you were just saying, that people think they're going to get bigger. And it's
yeah,
like, no, it's not. Actually, you do burn fat by
yes,
lifting weights, then you're probably doing it in a less stressful way to your body than when you're doing high intensity
yes,
cardio workouts as well.
yes,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, exactly, yeah,
It sort of surprises me really, because it's kind of been, bone health has been a real issue with perimenopause, and it's, you know, something people have known about for quite a long time as well, but yet there was never any talk
no,
anywhere that I heard of doing strength training to help support your bones and your
no,
muscles.
no,
And it's, you know,
and it, yeah,
obvious.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And even now they're saying it's because obviously one of the good things, it's also good for your mind as well, is like going out,
Mm,
getting your 10,000 steps in a day and doing your walks, which, yes, that's great, but also we should be doing a bit more impact in our body as
yeah,
well. So to help,
yeah.
strengthen that for that bone density.
Mm,
Then say like more sort of jump training. So you kind of touched on HIIT
yeah.
a little bit earlier. So I actually love HIIT
Mm,
training, and I think it's great for perimenopause, menopause, but done in the right way.
mm,
Because I mean, I would personally use it with weights, so it's
yeah.
strengthening the body at the same time,
Mm,
and then you've kind of got that double whammy of being able to build your muscle, and it's a much shorter period
mm,
of time
mm,
because it's you've got the little bit of recovery, and you're working out quite hard, but in such a much
mm,
shorter period of time. So say like you're doing an hour workout strength
yeah,
training. So it does work quite well, but you've got to do it in the right way.
yeah,
And then also
exactly.
depends on your body, doesn't it? So if somebody has never done it before, then I wouldn't recommend suddenly grabbing hold of the weights and jumping around.
Exactly. Easing your way in, and you can start with a lower intensity
Yes.
and work up to the high intensity. But I certainly find, like yourself, I do far more high intensity workouts with the weights. And then
Yes.
on days when I'm due on and I ache, I will just lower the intensity, so I won't be jumping around quite so much.
No.
I'm still doing the weights. I'm still doing the same kind of workout, but probably just not
Yeah.
quite as enthusiastically
Yeah.
jumping around.
Yeah.
So.
Or
Oh,
some days, before it'd be like, no, push another workout in, got to get another workout in. But now it's like, no,
yeah,
my body needs yoga today.
yeah. You
um,
really do have to listen,
yeah,
don't you? So, it's, we've got different sorts of movement. Like a lot of people say, oh, what should I be doing as a movement exercise? Is there something like I could recommend? Like obviously we've got HIIT, but that's not for everybody, is it? I mean, there's
no,
other.
it's not. So, I mean, I think generally, I mean, strength training is so
Mm,
important, but whatever that
mm,
means to a person. So, if a person's never done any weights before, maybe it is body weight, but it's
yeah,
rather than thinking, okay, I'm going to go from couch to 5K or something like that.
yeah.
Why not just start doing body weight exercises? So, I mean, I actually love, got one over there, using a stability ball.
Oh, yeah,
So,
yeah.
and you think, okay, how much does our body weigh? So we are still doing resistance training, even if we're not
Mm,
holding on to weights.
yeah.
And I think people
Yeah,
shy away from it. Is that a doggy?
yeah, I know. It's just like she's come next to me to
Oh,
shake her head.
so
I think she's trying to get my attention to go out, actually.
yeah, yeah. So
um,
whatever it means for that person, isn't it? It's just slowly building up to it. And obviously we also allowing that time for recovery as well. So whereas
exactly.
before you might not, you add an extra workout, do an extra workout. No, do a little bit of it, whatever suits you, even if it's like 10, 15
Yeah,
minutes, just easing into it, some body weight exercise, squats, lunges, just
yeah.
getting the body moving, just
Mm,
building that strength up.
yeah, exactly. And it's,
Yeah.
I mean, I think there's quite a lot of controversy over running when you get to perimenopause. Um, I'd never say to someone, don't run, because if that's your release, that's
Yeah.
something you've always done, then go for it. But there is that kind of, it can take its toll a bit more, I think, on the body. And again, it's
Yes.
that whole stress, isn't it? The stress on the body and the cortisol.
Yes.
And I
Yeah.
know that I don't really run very often now, but when I do, I hurt.
Yeah.
I really like my hips, my
Yeah.
body just, it just doesn't want to do that
No.
anymore.
I mean, I used to run, so before the weight training, before the yoga, so many
Mm,
years ago, I loved running, and I still love running, but I don't do it now because of exactly what you said.
yeah.
I do have stiffness in my knees and my
Mm,
hips, and I think that
mm,
is just the constant years of build up of the endurance style running I was doing. I used to compete
mm,
10Ks, half marathons, marathons. Actually, I
yeah.
only did one marathon, so that's an exaggeration. That one marathon.
It's more than I've done.
That one marathon was like, okay, that's it. Yeah, ended up with getting a stress fracture. So,
Oh, crikey,
um,
yeah.
and then since I've tried to kind of run leisurely, but I just get, yeah, my knees just don't like it. I get
Mm,
inflamed, and then it just affects everything else. So then it's like I can't even move in trying to do yoga.
yeah.
It's just that impact. My body doesn't like it at all. And
Mm,
whilst we want to be impacting our bones, I think it's the movement of the way it is. It's that
mm,
it's just that it's the repetitive forwards and back one way, isn't it? Rather
yeah.
than a mixture of different sort of jumping around and stop and
Yeah.
start as you would in different forms of training.
Yeah. And I suppose it's the impact, because depending on whether you're road running or whether you're sort of cross country, it's quite often uneven as well. So your
Yes.
body's just not, whereas when you're jumping around on a mat, your mat's flat and you
Yeah.
know the
Yeah.
ground that you're working on,
Yeah.
don't you?
Yeah.
It's just,
And you haven't ended up somewhere that you've got to then get back from. Made that mistake before. It's
yeah,
like,
and you're in pain and then you've got to try and
yeah.
get back again.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I was never a big runner, but I have to say, last year I did a bit of running because I was doing one of these assault course things, and I just didn't enjoy it at all.
Right.
And I just
Yeah.
found that and it just, like you say, it hurt. Your knees hurt, your hips hurt, and it's
Yeah.
just like, I don't think this is for me
No.
anymore at all.
No.
So,
It's like people sort of jump. It's the easiest thing to do, isn't it? You jump from doing nothing to like, right, I'm going to start running to get
mm,
fitter, to lose weight, or whatever the reason is. But it's almost
yeah,
like the worst choice, and then it's not sustainable. You sort
no,
of saw you're
exactly.
injured, and okay, no, then you end up stopping again rather than choosing something that's more
Yeah,
supportive to your body.
exactly. And I think there's this real thing with yoga as well, that people feel that they're not going to get what they need from yoga. But like we mentioned earlier, there's different sorts of yoga. So,
Absolutely.
you can get strength in there, you can
Yeah.
get cardio health in there.
Yeah.
It's, and it's easier to adapt, I think, your
Yes.
yoga practice to what you
Yeah.
want.
Yeah.
You
And
need it.
actually, kind of thinking about it, I probably switched from running to yoga. And it was actually after I had my little boy.
Mm,
And it's like, well, what can I do at home when, and also so much of the gym work as well. So what can I do at
mm,
home whilst he's been a baby? Okay, I'm going to start doing yoga.
mm,
And then it's like, but actually, I mean, to start with, mine was about the yoga, the more power style yoga, the more
mm.
fitness and the strength. And it's brilliant because it's just so targeted on whichever muscles you want to target. And it's
Yeah.
a little bit like the running used to be. You could get out of bed and do it first thing in the morning and just get
Mm,
it done. And I've
yeah.
always been such a like an online yogi, like following people online all the time and
Yeah.
just getting on with it. So it's so beneficial.
Mm,
That was actually my original reason. It's like still maintaining that muscular strength without
mm,
being too bulky. If you can get too bulky, it takes a lot of
yeah.
training to do that,
It
but it's like
does,
more
doesn't it? Yeah.
a bit more that the leanness of the
Yeah.
muscle. um but yeah, so it's, yeah, and then after that I think it was, then I come across the yin, and like the balance of
Mm,
the stronger style yoga and the yin is just, and sometimes even myself now, I'll be like, okay, most mornings I tend to get up, and part of my morning routine I'll do have a yoga practice, um and a lot, right, I'm going to do like a more energetic, so that's my workout. And then some mornings I'll
mm,
be like, no, do you know what? I need to do something more restorative. I need to
yeah.
do like my, and once I've done like a yin practice, I'm like, my body needs more of that.
Yeah, exactly. And it's
Yeah.
funny, we talked about this because when I first did yoga, um, I trained to do hatha and vinyasa, and I really loved the movement. And actually, I still do a power yoga class where I
Yeah.
use weights, so we use hand weights within the class, and I still love that. I never thought that I would enjoy restorative and yin, and it was as I was going through the perimenopause, and actually um, I thought a lot of it was COVID, that I was
Right.
feeling anxious and
Yeah.
stressed, and I kind of embraced. And actually, Jo, that's she's watching at the moment. It was one of her classes I think I did online on a Zoom class,
Yeah.
and I just thought, oh wow, this that I need to slow down a little bit more. And I
Yes.
think as well, especially with yin, and you're putting the stress on the muscles, people think, oh, it's so slow.
Yeah.
What benefit will you get? Well, it obviously produces collagen, doesn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Naturally by
Yeah.
stressing those muscles. So it has so much benefit when, your body is pretty much drying out, is a kind of way of
Exactly. Yes.
explaining it.
Yeah.
Because collagen
Yeah.
isn't just about your skin looking lovely, it's about your muscles, your ligaments, and things like the yin can help, promote that naturally within the body.
Yes.
So it's,
Yeah.
as well as
No,
having the mind stuff as
and it's
well.
not necessarily easy, is it? People think, oh, the slower
No.
practice, oh, that's too easy. I want something, energetic and to sweat.
Yeah.
But actually, some of the yin poses, it really kind of, and it also brings stuff up. I'd say it's like you can feel where you're holding that tension in the
Yeah.
body. Sometimes
Exactly.
people will say it's a lot of it's like emotional tension rather than physical
Mm.
tension, and that can start to be
Yeah.
released there. So certainly,
Yeah.
like in that hip area.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, there's a big
yeah.
thing, isn't there, in yoga that they say that women
Yeah,
hold
we
tension in their
saw it in
hips.
our hips. Yeah,
Yeah.
I must have a lot there.
Yeah, I think so too. And it's funny because that's one of the areas that actually I was talking to Mel, who will be, she's an NHS nurse, and she's actually going to be coming on here and doing a chat herself. And she was saying how as a runner, she really feels things in her hips. And I think it isn't
Right.
just what we're doing moving wise, it is that tension that we're holding within our body. And
Yes.
you don't realize how much the body holds on to that stress,
No. No.
worry, anxiety, all
Yeah.
those things that impact your body.
Yeah. And I remember when I used to do lots of running, I was seeing, I think it was a crystal therapist at the time. She's like,
Mm,
what are you running away from? Actually, I think I was having a sports massage, she's like a crystal therapist as well. So
yeah.
always into like the holistic stuff. She's like, what are you running away from? I was like, oh, I don't know. So I don't know. Something.
Yeah.
But yeah, so later on down the line it hits. But yeah, yeah, I mean, you know, it's wonderful. And actually I had a client the other day and we were supposed to be doing a little bit more of an intensive workout, and she was like, I'm just so tired, I'm worn out. She's like working, she's
Mm,
early 50s. She's through her, she's in her you know, post-menopause now, but so stressed out, struggling. I was
mm,
like, we really shouldn't be doing this hit training. We need to be going
mm.
and do some yoga. So we kind of changed the plan of the day, went and did some yoga. And she's like, oh my goodness, that is just exactly what I needed. So it's much more of a
Yeah.
restorative. And she like, just lifted her up and just
Mm,
changed her. It's like going to the doctor and just getting that magic pill of what you needed. You
yeah.
don't realize, and it we think it's to do with the stretching, but then it's the breathing, isn't it? And it's bringing us down to
It is.
taking us away from, you know, switching our nervous system from that
Yeah.
complete stress response
Just
to I'm finally
feeling,
relaxed again. I
yeah,
can
feeling
repair and
calm
recover.
again.
Yeah.
Yeah. And helping you, repair your body,
Yes.
especially
Yeah.
for women that aren't sleeping very well. You know, when you've been up all night or your body's hurting for whatever reason, you're getting some sort of flare up, trying to force yourself through a big workout would,
Yeah.
like we've already said, stress the body. Whereas if you listen and think, do you know what, actually I need some yoga today,
Yes.
then you can find afterwards like your lady felt so much better for doing
Yeah.
that than had
Yeah.
she tried to force herself through something her body really wasn't asking for that day.
Yeah. We must have been in Shavasana like 3 minutes maximum. She's like, oh, I think I fell asleep there. I was like, I think you did. I always have that with people. It's like we weren't there long. They're stressed out and then instant at the end. It's like it's
Yeah.
quite funny.
And I think it's nice to see that, isn't it, when people obviously need that and you can see them
Yeah.
going off, especially if you get someone snoring,
Yes.
which I quite like in a
Yeah.
yoga class.
You're like, that's
It
okay.
tends, yeah, it's like
Shows
that's what you need right
I've done
now.
my job.
Yeah, exactly. But it's, for people, I say women that sort of experiencing particularly fatigue or joint pain, what gentle movements would you recommend for them? With that, would you just sort of say that it'd be yoga, or would you kind of mix it up with something slower and
Yeah.
yoga,
I
movement
mean,
wise?
oh, I mean, I love yoga. So I would always say, as we've said before, there's so many different variations of
Yeah.
it. So one, you've got to listen to your body and understand where you are. And
Mm,
so I think yoga would be really beneficial. But again, it's that movement, isn't it? So if you, did you
yeah.
say like fatigue and joint pain, often that can be us being stagnant and not doing anything.
Yeah, as well.
It sounds counterintuitive, but when we feel sore and inflamed and fatigued, all we want to do is sit on the couch and do nothing. But
Mm,
it's the worst thing you can do. And even so, I would highly recommend going out in the sunlight. And we're a perfect time of
mm,
year, if everyone's in the UK,
yeah,
perfect time of year now to go out and just go out for a walk and just embrace the
exactly.
sunlight. And it's resetting your circadian rhythm. So, you know,
Mm,
getting your, because it could be that your hormones are out of balance, and just by getting that morning sunlight, going out for a walk in nature is just
mm,
so restorative, and just getting the body moving again, because that can be a lot of the
mm.
time while we're inflamed and we're fatigued. Yeah, and just
Yeah, a lot of women will be sitting at a desk. So obviously, yoga's great, getting that stretching, but getting that movement, like you're saying, getting outside could be
yes,
just what the
yeah,
body's asking for. And, it isn't like you say, it's the sunlight, getting that vitamin C,
yeah, yeah,
just really kind of getting fresh air, because we have really kind of detached, I think, from nature quite a lot. And I think that's has a
yes,
massive impact on everybody, really, let alone when you're going through something like this, like perimenopause and menopause, where you kind of do need to be reconnected, I think, with nature again. And that's
absolutely,
kind of where I suppose Ayurveda comes in a little bit, doesn't it?
yes, yeah. yeah, so Ayurveda is all about, like, we are part of nature,
Mm,
really. And it's just and also I mentioned slightly about like circadian rhythm, or Ayurveda call it the Ayurvedic clock. So it's like
yeah.
getting your whole body back in balance with
Mm,
nature. So
mm,
our body, we've got lots of clock. We hear about our body clock. We've actually got lots of clocks in our body that all do
mm,
different things. So it's retuning those, and if they're slightly out of balance, and that's when so many of our symptoms that we recognize in perimenopause and menopause show
yeah.
up. And just by thinking, really focusing on, okay, how can I rebalance my body according to nature, we really find a
Mm,
shift. So yeah, so Ayurveda, I mean, what is it, 5,000-year-old medicine, and
yeah.
it's all about prevention as opposed to curing. So
Yeah.
it's just not letting that body get out of balance in the first place.
Mm,
And I always like to say it's a little bit like when we do notice our symptoms, rather than thinking, okay, I'm doomed, it's using those symptoms. So okay, where am I out of balance and how can I correct it?
yeah.
Like we mentioned about sleep earlier as well, is sometimes it's our cortisol, isn't it, is elevated too high in the evening, and
Mm,
our melatonin might not be kicking in at the same time. If we were to work hard on resetting our, hormonal
mm,
rhythms, bodily rhythms, then you might probably find sleep is much better just
mm.
by just changing just little small shifts to your lifestyle.
Yeah, and sometimes it can just be those little small shifts, can't it, that you haven't really
Yes.
thought about, and
Yeah.
just having that. I know that we spoke to Melanie about calming environment before bed, and those kind of
Right. Yeah.
taking yourself away from, looking at social media
Screens.
and just having that slowing down kind of maybe you have a nice bubble bath and things like that just to sort
Yeah.
of make you feel calm. But is there any sort of Ayurvedic practices that you'd recommend for either sleep or just generally with
Yeah. I mean,
symptoms?
I love the topic of sleep. I'm kind of and
Yeah.
probably because also that was one of the things that really
The
affected
most,
me at the start of my
yeah.
perimenopausal journey. And at the time I didn't realize it was
Mm,
perimenopause. But then I started looking at what I was, and so whilst we look at the calming evening routine, I would
mm,
say it almost begins in the morning or even the night before that. So it's
yeah.
setting your whole day up according to, your whole
Mm,
body circadian rhythm. So getting that morning sunlight first thing,
mm,
like as early as you can when sunrise is, and
mm,
also try
yeah.
not to lay in too late. I know sometimes we want to
Mm,
if we haven't slept well, but then that's throwing our body out of balance.
mm,
At different times of the day, you've got obviously the different doshas that kick in. So resetting, yeah, so getting up, getting that morning sunlight, so then that tells your body it's daytime. So then
yeah.
that allows, then we have that natural rise of cortisol, don't we?
Mm,
First thing in the morning, which is okay.
yeah.
And then being careful not to overdo the caffeine. If we are going to have the caffeine, have it earlier on in the day. And then
Mm,
food timings as well. So all of this, whilst we're talking about lots of different things, it's like that holistic approach.
yeah.
So
It's
it's like
it's a whole round holistic
that,
approach, isn't
yes,
it?
yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like I want to sort out my sleep, so I look at my evening routine, but actually starting first thing in the morning,
Yeah.
what you do throughout the day is going to affect your sleep. The other thing is, when you're having your food, your biggest meal. So
Mm,
while your biggest meal wants to be ideally at lunchtime when our digestive fire is strongest,
yeah.
if you're eating in the evening, then
Yeah.
your body's trying to digest, so it's going to
Mm,
slow down that kick in of that melatonin,
yeah.
so you're not going to sleep. But it's bringing it earlier than we think we should.
Mm, yeah,
So I would almost say it's
exactly.
like, how can I create a good morning routine? Well, actually, a morning routine starts the evening before.
Yeah.
So it's a whole cycle, isn't
Yeah.
it? So then it's connecting
And
back
just
to the
keeping
nature.
that, yeah,
Yeah.
keeping that sun. And actually, Melanie as well, she said it was about getting out into the sunlight in the morning. And
Yes.
even if you stand out there for 5 minutes with your cup of tea, I mean, I'm
Yeah.
lucky I'm out with the dog and I take her for a walk. And
Yeah.
it's my favourite time because I try to take her out for an hour in the morning. And I'm like,
Great.
got that time and I get out over the field. So I'm getting that vitamin C, I'm getting the air. And it really does make a difference to me.
Yes.
I think
Yeah.
if I don't get out and do that, then you kind of feel in a sludge. You don't quite wake yourself up, do you?
No.
It's kind of just
No.
stuck
It's you
in a,
don't.
yeah, stuck in this kind of where you
Yeah.
don't quite get yourself going.
No.
Um,
And
yeah,
you don't realize, so you don't realize till maybe the evening, because actually you're I normally always take my little boy, we walk to school, but
mm,
more recently my partner, he's been taking him to school a few times in the morning. I'm like, I'm missing out on my morning walk. This is not
Yeah,
good. It's
yeah,
like, hang on,
you
I
do.
need that.
We need
And
that
when
routine.
and then I find myself on the computer or doing things. I might be doing my yoga. If the weather's been bad, I've done my yoga inside. I'm like, geez, I haven't been outside. And then my sleep isn't as good. It's like,
No,
well, you know it, don't you? So it's
exactly.
like,
We need
how,
to be out in nature, don't we?
yeah, yeah.
Completely.
And
And I
even if the
think,
weather's bad, we should still be going out in it because they say you still
yeah,
receive
you
a lot of
still
it.
need it. Yeah. Well, having a dog, it makes me go out. But I just think,
Yes.
prior to having her, the thought of going out in the rain for a walk, I just would have been, oh no, I'd rather sit here. And then, especially in the winter months, you're just not getting that daylight, are
No,
you?
no.
Oh,
And it's harder, isn't
yeah.
it?
Whereas when with a dog, she's going to make me go out.
Yeah, you got to
It's
go out
only if
there.
it's like, yeah, torrential that, we think perhaps not. So
Yeah.
I'm kind of lucky in that. So it's kind of maybe making a habit if you haven't got a pet to take you out. Like you say, walking your children to school, if you've got
Yes.
children
Yeah.
to take to
Yeah.
school, and just maybe,
And if
just having
not,
that, okay,
you going out, yeah, definitely. And then
yeah,
they also say in the evening as well, it's good to get a bit of as the sun's setting to
yeah,
also be outside when the sun's setting as well, if possible.
mm,
I know it's not always possible for people in their jobs and things, but
yeah,
maybe lunchtime break, 10-minute walk
yeah,
outside. So whatever you're doing, just trying to get outside as much as possible,
yeah,
just so that
try to get
really
that in.
helps the body reset.
Mm. But this is even if you're not sort of walking. I mean, it's good to get out and walk. But like Melanie said, even if you just think, right, I haven't got time to go for a walk, but I could spend 10 minutes having my cup of tea in the
Yeah,
garden. That's,
yeah, yeah,
it's getting that
perfect.
bit of
Yeah,
fresh air, isn't it?
yeah.
So, but yeah,
And then not better, not so good, but better is even just trying to sit near a window. If like you're working in an office all day,
yeah,
hopefully you can, yeah, get as much sunlight as you can. But there is quite a big difference, I think, by being inside a window to actually being outside, even if it is cloudy.
yeah.
So as much as we can brave it to go outside, the better.
Yeah, and I think in COVID, people were saying, oh, well, they're getting out and having their walk because it was encouraged to get out of the house for that hour.
Yeah,
And a lot of people said they were going to make that routine. And I think as time's gone
yeah,
on,
yeah,
people have slid out of that. But it's really important.
yeah,
Years ago, we would be out more because that's, you'd be, doing your chores and things. You'd be in and out of the house. You'd have to walk to go and do your shopping.
yeah,
Now you get in
absolutely.
and out of cars. I mean, people get in their car to go to the gym.
Yes. Yeah.
It's like it's
And then park
almost
close to the
ironic.
door as possible.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
So I think, yeah, nature is definitely part of what we need, and obviously, like you said, that's
100%.
kind of part of what Ayurveda is, and it's sort of
Yes.
really, it talks about eating and food as well, doesn't it? A little bit Ayurveda.
Yes, yeah. So Ayurveda, so it's lifestyle, but it's massively about food. But again, food being medicine. So
Mm,
rather than just thinking food as, I don't know, well, it's fuel, isn't it? But rather than thinking this
yeah.
as treats or, uh, so really thinking about what you're eating. And I think as we're in like perimenopause, menopause, it's even more important than ever to be
Mm,
looking at the food. So whilst we might have got away with certain things in our younger years, it's just not going to
mm,
have. It's almost like it's these things we've done to our body. They sort of build up over time, don't they?
they
And we
do.
got to this point, but body's starting to react slightly differently. Hormones are on the decline, and it's
Mm,
saying, right, I've had enough now. You need to sort things out. And
yeah,
I think it's like that bit of a window of opportunity to which direction you're going to choose to take.
exactly.
And we can ignore it. We go, no, no, I don't want to do that, or oh, it's hard work. But I think we don't like change, do we?
No.
We don't like to.
Well, I
But
think
it's easy
it
things.
is as well
Yeah.
because I think we're in a fast-paced lifestyle, and I think that's what it is quite often with food and things, isn't it? Because women are having children a bit later, so
Yes.
we're trying to be mums. We're working full time. Quite a
Yeah.
few mums I know in the group are business owners, so we're working, trying to be parents. We're worrying about our parents.
Yes.
We're just so full on
Yeah.
that sometimes it's easy to grab the quick and easy foods
Yeah.
because that's the easiest thing to do, but actually they're triggering our
They are
hormones hugely.
terribly.
I mean, I
Yeah.
know I've actually cut out alcohol completely,
Yes.
just
Yeah.
because I was finding that drinking alcohol and caffeine actually
Yes.
was making me quite anxious,
Yes. Yeah.
and I wasn't enjoying it at all. And I'm not saying people have to give up
Yeah.
things that they really love and help them, but I
Yeah.
think it definitely helps to cut down on things
Yeah.
and just notice
Yeah.
it, how it is impacting you. I mean, some people can still just enjoy the odd drink and it's absolutely fine.
Yeah,
Some people are fine with caffeine, it's,
yeah.
but then there's still a lot of people that are drinking caffeine in the afternoon, yet they're having hot sweats and they're not
I
sleeping at
don't even
night.
realise
Like,
why. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. I mean, I've kind of turned to decaf. It's also the
mm,
toxins in it, like the alcohol and the caffeine as well. We don't
yeah,
realise the amount of toxins, all that extra load on our body, on our liver,
yeah,
and yeah, it's kind of, yeah.
yeah,
We're conditioned. We've come from that time of place where, like, oh yeah, alcohol and
yeah,
caffeine. It's like it's part of, it's the norm. But actually, once we get to, I think, this stage of life, more and more people are hitting it on the head and saying,
yeah,
either very occasionally or not
yeah.
at all. Um,
No, a lot of women particularly that don't drink
no,
because it's
no.
just had a bad impact on how their bodies and
Yes,
your
yeah,
mental well-being,
100%.
is affected by it. I mean, I was never a heavy drinker anyway. Um, and I liked nice gin,
Yeah,
but you can get non-alcoholic gin and it tastes exactly the same. I feel like I'm part of it and I don't get a
yeah,
hangover and the anxiety that
yeah,
comes with it.
yes,
But the
yeah,
same with caffeine. I drink decaf. But I
yes,
do have, I like to have a Keiko drink in the afternoon. So that's kind of, and it has got caffeine in and it does give me a little bit of a kick. But obviously, it's not, like you say, full of all the ingredients it shouldn't. It's a pure Keiko and collagen and it's, full of lovely ingredients. So
yes,
don't
yeah.
have that same come down as you do with a lot of
No,
caffeine
exactly.
fixes.
Yeah, yeah. So it's looking at your it's being it's starting to get honest with ourselves, isn't it? It's like
Yeah.
looking at the symptoms we're experiencing, and as you say, different people are affected in different ways. And you look
Mm,
at, like, the Ayurveda perspective of that, it's like which dosha you are.
mm.
So some
Yeah.
people are more Vata dominant, some people Pitta, some people Kapha. But
Mm-hmm.
as we enter that stage of perimenopause and menopause anyway, we're going into that Vata stage of life.
Yeah.
So whilst I think people can get a little bit very caught up in, oh, which dosha am I, or which, what is our constitution? Um, Even for instance, if you're say like you're a pitta, but you could be vata imbalanced. So
Mm.
it's yeah, I think people get too caught up on that rather than thinking, okay, step back. What are my symptoms? What are my signs? And
Yeah.
even just going back to the Ayurveda is like, okay, so I'm feeling, I can't sleep at night, or I'm just
Mm.
busy mind, or hot sweats. There's like certain things that you can do for different
Mm.
doshas that would help alleviate it. So depending what you're experiencing at the time,
Mm.
you're going to be helped by following which, the recommended things for your different doshas, just to help rebalance it.
Mm.
But it's also
That's
timings of the day as well. So each of
yeah.
the doshas come in.
Mm. I mean, the thing is, like we were saying, everybody is so different, and the symptoms are so different as well.
Yes.
So it's kind of not a one size fits all
No.
in perimenopause. I mean, that is not a one size fits all generally with health, is it? I think through perimenopause, there'll be some women that will have like the odd symptoms. Some people have lots of symptoms.
Yes.
So kind of like you say, bringing it down to what is it that your body needs at this
Yes.
time.
Yeah. Whereas
Yeah.
one person could be hot flushes, another person could be fatigue, couldn't it? So it
Mm.
depends what you're experiencing to how and what you want to target.
Yeah.
But I do really believe in, from an Ayurvedic approach, it's like lifestyle, a whole lifestyle.
Mm.
So, the way we sleep, what our nutrition's like, how our stress
Mm.
is, and the way we exercise has a huge impact on how
Yeah.
much symptoms that we experience.
Mm.
I certainly know from personal level, if I haven't been so good in any of them areas, my symptoms are more than
Yeah.
if I'm, really being really good, should I
Yeah.
say, or, following a really good routine, then I don't really experience things,
Mm.
knowing much as I did maybe in the beginning anyway.
Mm.
So just, yeah. So you was asking about, like, the nutritional side of things, weren't you, as
Yeah.
well? So
Yeah. So, what sort of things would you say people could tweak within their diet? 'Cause sometimes it could be something really simple,
yeah,
little bits of advice to help people kind of,
yeah.
what could benefit them through this time.
I mean, I was we kind of mentioned a little bit earlier about the circadian rhythm of
Mm.
our bodily clock. So first of all, eating. So also we've got to think about, like, the gut health. Our
Mm.
gut's affected when we go through perimenopause. One of the Vata imbalances would be things like bloating and digestive
Mm.
problems. So eating at lunchtime, or eating your largest meal at lunchtime, so like by
Mm.
1 or 2 o'clock in the afternoon, because that's when our digestive fire is at its strongest.
Mm.
So it's able to do, it's like our gut clock is switched on then,
Yeah.
whereas then we try and eat at 8 o'clock at night, which a lot of us do, and I'm guilty of that sometimes as well.
Mm,
My digestion does not like that at all. It's like,
mm,
and it takes a lot longer to digest the food at 8 p.m. at night than it would be at 2 p.m. in the
mm,
afternoon. So I'm not
mm.
saying we have to completely not have anything at all, but
Yeah,
it's really making much
yeah,
lighter meals in the evening.
yeah,
And then going back to obviously, unprocessing the diet as much as possible, reducing the
mm,
sugary foods.
yeah,
If you are going to have sugary, try and sort of go more back into the nature, so our nature's
yeah,
gifts rather than
yeah.
our processed
Mm,
foods. So
mm.
it's
And
quite logical, but when you sort of, and they are small things, it does take change, and it does take a little bit of time to
yeah,
adapt, but it's small steps, isn't it?
it
So
is, yeah.
nothing's
And I
that
think,
hard.
I know sugar particularly
Mm,
is always affects the body. We know it's bad for us, but I think I know a lot of women that have then struggled a lot with thrush and things as they're going through perimenopause, and obviously that's gut health.
yes,
Um, and I have mentioned to people before, obviously we look at estrogen and we think of it, we know that it's bone health and we know it's our sexual health, but we don't think of it of being the brain health, the heart health, and the gut health. It's a
yes,
massive part of our gut health, isn't
yeah,
it? And when estrogen declines, like you were saying earlier, some of those things that we could get away with, the really sugary foods, as we get older, our body can't actually deal with it and it will come out.
no,
Things like thrush and things as well, won't it?
yes, yeah. And then it's weighing up, like, are
Mm,
these symptoms worth it? So
exactly.
depending what you're what you're experiencing, it's like that quick, hit fix of, like, sugar,
Yeah,
bar of chocolate or whatever, then later on you're suffering of however long it may be, whether it's just digestion or whether it's thrush or,
yeah.
feeling. And
Like
even like sugar, it's like the
protein.
anxiety, it can, cause the anxiety the next day,
Yeah,
and the the brain fog. So there's, I think,
mm. And
nutrition is one
headaches
thing.
and yeah,
Headaches, yeah.
yeah.
So, and it's even like the Mediterranean diet, that's quite a good
Mm,
place to start if you're not
yeah.
sure. I think they've kind of got it.
They've got it
They're
started.
clued, yeah, they're clued up there, haven't they? So
Yeah,
it's
they
like as
have.
natural as
Mm,
possible, getting
mm,
the good oils in the diet, so, and avoiding things like your seed oils so
yeah,
much, and lots of vegetables,
mm,
oily fish.
yeah,
So just really really trying to sort the diet out as much as possible,
yeah.
and allow, I always say, like, the 80/20 rules, as long as you can be good 80, because we are human
Exactly.
after all. So
Yeah. Take the fun out of everything. No sugar,
I
no
know,
alcohol.
I
Just
know.
you're not allowed any bit
But then
anymore.
maybe looking at it from a different perspective, are they fun? Are they actually fun? It's like,
Yeah,
what's the sugar doing to you? It's like weighing up, okay, so it's given me a quick hit there, but then the longer term effects, that's it's weighing up the balance of how good it is for you, really.
exactly. And like you say, you don't have to rule it out completely.
No,
It's just,
yeah,
just being a little bit careful with it. I mean, obviously, we've talked a lot, and I know I've talked a lot about what we shouldn't be doing, but
yeah.
is there any particular food that you would recommend? My dog keeps circling me.
Yes. Yes, I kind of touched on it just a second ago, really. I mean, even
Mm,
sort of looking at like the Mediterranean style diet of things. So as natural, unprocessed as possible. So when you go
mm,
into your supermarket, if you do supermarket shopping, avoiding those inside aisles, going as almost like as natural. So if you can
mm,
see how it's been grown, then the better.
yeah.
So all your fruits, your vegetables, great. Oily
Mm,
fish, so that's so many benefits. So for the brain health as well there.
mm,
Um, yeah, and just keeping it as clean, lots of water.
yeah.
So drinking the sort of obvious, really. So
Yeah.
just keeping that digestion just work. Your fermented foods as well, maybe good if you are struggling with
The gut health. Yeah.
digestive, yeah, problems. So that would be really helpful. And
Yeah,
then
I tried doing that
timings.
myself. You can do it yourself, can't you, with some of the fermented stuff? But
Yes,
just
yeah,
keeping it all in the fridge, and I kept forgetting to do that
making it.
because there,
Yeah,
yeah, there is because there's so many on the shelves, isn't there, at the moment? And then quite
yes,
a few of them have got additives in. I've noticed, so it's finding the right ones, isn't it? It's like
yeah,
a minefield,
yeah.
really.
And that's the thing. I think that since it's become more popular, isn't it? People, like bigger corporations, companies, get on the bandwagon and think, oh, we're gonna. It's like the kombucha. Have you ever
Yes,
tried that? But then you
yeah,
then
yeah,
you
yeah,
oh, that's supposed to be good. Then you look at it, and like the sugar and the additives in there, so that's just going to have the opposite effect on the body.
yeah.
So
It can be
whilst
a
there might
little
be some
bit.
benefits to it, it's still
Mm.
not so great. So yes, reading the food labels. So that's a great suggestion.
Yeah, you
of
can't be
what you're
convinced by
having.
everything. It's like
No,
everything that says protein, protein, protein on it. We
yes,
get drawn to it, and our bodies really need protein,
yes,
particularly at this style of time of life. But it is again just having a little check on how much sugar and stuff
yes.
have been
And
adding
like
to it as well.
your protein supplements, isn't it? Like your protein bars or your protein breads. It's like, well,
Yeah.
what else is in it? So again, looking at the ingredients. So yes, 100% protein, like getting that up as
Mm,
really as hard. But they say like what about 1 point, it's higher now, isn't it? The recommendation, is it 1.6 per kilogram now
mm,
for
mm.
women to have? I mean, on our bodybuilding days or
Yeah,
fitness days, it was always that high anyway, wasn't it?
it
But
was. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. It was all about the protein, wasn't it? So
Yes,
yeah.
yeah. But
It's
then getting it in where you can, so it doesn't have to be like, big chunks of meat all the time, does it? If
no,
people are
exactly.
vegetarian, or you can get it
Mm.
from all sorts of sources. So
Yeah, and it's all the
lentils,
pulses and
chickpeas,
vegetables and
quinoa.
beans.
Yeah,
Yeah, and it's because I'm not vegetarian, I'm pescatarian, so I still eat fish, but I did cut
me
out.
too, pretty much. Yeah,
Yeah, because I
yeah,
found that my body, there was different reasons. My body wasn't processing some meats, red meat particularly, very well,
yeah,
um, and obviously, just personally, it's just something
yeah,
I felt that I didn't want to do anymore. But then you're worrying, am I getting enough?
yes,
Am I getting it? It's finding those foods that have got that in, isn't it?
yeah,
So
yeah, yeah, definitely.
important
But it doesn't,
to
yeah,
keep
it's just as long as
worrying.
you, I think when you're vegan, it makes it probably a little bit more challenging. But if you become a
Yeah.
vegetarian pescatarian, then
Mm.
absolutely fine to do.
Do you ever recommend supplements and things for people, or is that something you would add in if you were
Um, I
chatting?
do, but I'd say a slightly kind of step back on that point, just from the fact I think you can do. It's very easy. I think in our modern lifestyle, it's like
Mm.
people just want a quick fix. They want a plaster to put over
Mm.
something rather
Yeah.
than looking at like root causes.
Mm.
So it's like I have had a client recently, and she's like, "Oh, just tell me which supplements to take." It's
Yeah.
like, I was like, "No, you need to overhaul the other things first. You need to get the diet right, the
Yeah,
exercise
exactly.
right, your whole lifestyle."
And
And
then get the supplement.
we're in that instant gratification. But I won't leave you hanging. I personally love magnesium for sleep, so I always take a magnesium supplement for sleep.
Yeah.
Ashwagandha is really good, so that's more of like an Ayurvedic herb. So
Mm.
the ashwagandha is nice for like if you're feeling stressed and you need a bit more balance.
Yeah.
Um, and then thinking about the Ayurvedic, the spices, well, it's not Ayurvedic, but they use them a lot. So
Yeah.
was it cumin, coriander, and fennel?
Yeah.
Like really good for your digestion,
Mm.
and turmeric as well. So
Yeah.
ginger.
Turmeric.
So
Yeah.
all just incorporating, I mean, spices, that's a really
Yeah.
good one to start just bringing the spices into the foods that you're eating as much as possible,
Yeah, well,
making
a lot
kind of
of them
like,
help with it, sort of inflammatory, aren't they? So they can really
yes,
help with things like
yes,
that. Just adding things in like cinnamon,
yeah,
nutmeg and things like that,
yes,
ginger, to your maybe I
yeah,
was going to say soup. You don't want it in your soup. You want it in your porridge and things like that. Can be quite helpful. And sometimes as well. Like, I mean, we worry about really spicy foods, but actually, I think again it's the additives that go in because actually the spices themselves are really
yes.
beneficial, aren't they?
Yes, and
Mm.
you could go back to like your dosha and what you're finding, how where your
Mm.
imbalances are there. So, for instance, if you're more pitta dominant, then and you're finding that you're getting lots of hot flushes and you're
Mm.
angry, and which would be
Yeah.
like a pitta imbalance,
Mm.
then maybe you would lower down the spices.
Yeah.
But I am definitely pitta dominant, and I could put chili on everything.
Yeah, I like a bit of chili powder.
And now that I'm in that Vata stage of life, I'm like, well, I
Yeah,
can have it. So
yeah.
it's
I
like,
need warming. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. So,
Oh dear. I mean,
but
is there
yeah,
any sort of superfoods that you would kind of suggest? I often say to women, cherries are great because it's
yes,
obviously
you said
got
about
that
that, didn't you?
natural
For the,
melatonin in it, so that can help with sleep. I didn't know if there was
yes.
any that you sort of recommended to people or that you used yourself.
I mean, I don't know if you've ever heard of like that celery is currently hugely beneficial, isn't it? With from all sorts of ways, supposed to be like the
Yeah.
healing food of the world. I've
Yeah.
definitely gone through a few celery cleanses myself, which is which is quite helpful. But looking more like on the Ayurveda style, a kachar, I don't know if you've ever heard of kachari. It's like a recipe. It's supposed to be really healing for the body.
Oh
It's
wow.
sometimes good to do like a cleanse with it, but it's not. not a deep cleanse.
mm,
It's just more if you've got any problems with your stomach, with your gut health, it's good to like going a little bit more basic food. So it's adding in the spices. So it's simply you can either use rice or you can use quinoa with
mm,
it, mung beans or mung dal, and then lots of like
mm.
spices to go with it.
Yeah.
One of my clients in particular, she's struggling a lot with her stomach at the moment, and a little while ago she was doing she actually I gave her like one of the kachari cleanse
Mm,
recipes, like literally
mm.
transformed her stomach, which I felt, and she's
Oh,
struggling a bit at the
wow.
moment, so she's picking that back up now. But that's a yeah, it's a really nice. So sometimes people think about cleansing and detoxing is all about eliminating. Well, it's more about
Mm,
just bringing the good foods into the body that's going to help you heal.
yeah,
Um,
exactly.
but
So I
yes,
just
it's
think, I mean,
spices.
I quite, yeah, see, because I have to be a bit careful with my stomach. I'm under investigation with the hospital as well. So it's kind of, there's certain fibre-ish foods that can actually trigger me off. So we've
Yes,
kind of got that thing of, oh, we need fibre to help our gut health. But actually for some women, it can be quite triggering with
too
things as
much.
well. Yeah, so
Yes,
you have to
yeah,
be quite
yeah.
careful. And again, using some of those spices and some of those, that like like we said with the cinnamon and the turmeric, they're really
They're
helpful
really
for
helpful
health.
for the whole digestion and any kind of
Yeah.
stomach issues there. So
Mm,
and even as so one of the things like the mung beans, people think they think that's what am I thinking of? They think it's a bean, but it's not a bean.
yeah.
So if you're having like more digestive
Mm,
problems there and like the fiber from it, it isn't as much. It's more gentle on
yeah,
the
it's a little bit more
stomach.
gentle.
So
Yeah.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
kind of not a pulse and it's not a bean. It's
Bean.
somewhere in between, but
Somewhere in
it's supposed to
between because
be. Yeah.
yeah, some of the others can be quite triggering for certain people,
Yes,
can't
yeah.
they?
So
Yeah.
if you're struggling with your stomach issues, the
Mm,
last thing you want to be doing is eating a lot of beans, isn't
yeah.
it?
Slightly upsetting, yeah. But
Yeah.
I mean, with spices and things as well, I quite often, because juicing can be quite hard work because you go through quite a bit, don't you, just to get you one shot. So when I tend to juice, I might juice once a week, and I'll do my orange, my carrot, my pepper.
Right.
Um, then I'll sometimes put a bit of apple in, and I always add a bit of turmeric. But what I tend to do is then freeze some of them in cubes.
Right.
So I put them in the
Okay.
freezer. So I have my sort of shot once or twice a week. But then if I'm ill, they
Yeah.
come out of the freezer and they're in there,
Right.
And I
Yeah.
think, because I mean, last week I was feeling really quite poorly, and I think it really helped.
Yeah.
Having those things, you just pop them out of the thing, put a bit of hot water, and
Okay.
then you've got
Good.
that
Yeah.
take. So it's just little things like that sometimes can make all the difference when we're so
Yeah.
used to putting medication in our body.
Yeah.
And there is time and place for medication, same with
Yeah.
HRT, but like you say, getting these practices and the healthy
Yeah.
nutrition will make a massive difference, I think,
Yeah, it's
all round to the
almost like
health.
making that your last route. What can I? It's empowering, really. What can I do for myself that's going to help heal my body, rather than thinking, okay, I've got this problem, therefore I'm doomed straight to the medication route. It may
Yeah.
just be simple, small changes in your diet, your lifestyle that can,
Mm,
eliminate what you're feeling.
yeah.
So, like you was talking about, your smoothie. I've I've got this smoothie that I've been doing it, gosh, can't remember how many years now. I always call it like
Mm,
my super immune boosting smoothie, where it's like a combination of um, blueberry, celery, ginger, cucumber, spinach.
wow.
There might be
Yeah.
other lemon as well. I love lemon, so I always have lemon first and warm water first
Yes,
thing in
I
the
do.
morning
Yeah. Yeah.
for digestion.
Mm,
But the smoothie I've had for so long now, and I honestly think you almost have it, and you can feel it
mm,
rejuvenating the body.
mm,
Um, but that being said, coming from an Ayurveda perspective, certainly in the winter time, and like you mentioned about ice earlier, but you said you put hot water in it. We're not
yeah.
supposed to be eating really cold foods or
Yeah.
completely raw foods if you've because that is supposed to like put out your digestive fire,
Mm,
so we want to kind of keep our digestion nice and strong,
yeah.
but come depending again on your
Mm,
dosha, your
mm,
constitution, maybe this time of year is a good time to start getting a few more of those smoothies in, as long as you're
yeah.
not putting too much ice, frozen fruit and things like that in it, so more a
Yeah,
little bit more natural.
I do avoid the ice actually, because I do find, and I remember when I read a bit about Ayurveda, and it was sort of saying you should have your soups and your warmer
Yeah,
foods. But sometimes in the summer, like you do like your smoothies, and it's getting everything in there.
yeah,
So I just avoid having anything frozen in there. It tends to be
yes,
fresh fruit, and I
yeah,
avoid the ice cubes.
yes.
So
I think that's ideal. And again,
mm,
so whilst we're saying it's also as well as our own doshic balance, it's according to the seasons as well.
mm,
So come summertime, to keep what we maybe we don't want really warming foods in the morning, because then that can make us more
Yeah.
overheated. So that's
Yeah.
when we start to introduce that more cooling foods.
Mm.
And then looking at from that perspective is like, depending if you're having hot flushes, to bringing more cooling foods
Mm.
into your diet.
Yeah.
So it's just, there's so many ways you can sort of move into it.
Mm.
But yeah, it's just without trying to overwhelm, it's just little tiny practices and see what works for you. Okay,
Yeah.
what am I struggling with and what can I do to change it?
Mm. Exactly.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, you've got sort of different things coming up, courses and workshops, because it is, it isn't a one size fits all with people. How would you
No.
sort of work with different women within sort of what you do in
Um,
your service?
yeah, so at the moment it's just like a little bit of introduction. So I've got a few things going on at the moment. I've got like a free 5-day rediscover your radiance little toolkit. So it's just
Mm.
introducing people to like the what I'd almost call like the 4 pillars of health and
Mm.
longevity and hormonal
Mm.
balance. So just helping them reset their hormones, understanding the circadian rhythm. So
Yeah.
that's like a free download they can take. And then I'm also doing a 5-day online challenge coming up quite
That
soon. So the start of May.
May. Yeah.
May time. Yes, I think, what have I got? I can't remember when it was. 5th of May. Yeah, so 5th of May. It's like a detox and vitality challenge. So mainly focusing, and rather than just focusing on nutrition, whilst it will be about the nutritional side of things, also like the mind body detox. So looking from a stress level point of view, what can
Mm.
we detox out of our life that's creating more stress in our life?
Yeah.
So whereas I know Ayurveda, they say that we're not just what we eat, we're everything we
Yeah.
digest.
Yeah.
So it's like kind of, okay, so the detox isn't just about the foods, it's everything in our
Mm.
life.
Yeah.
um, and then after that, I think it's probably start of June time, I'm going to be opening my 8-week program. So that'll be following on from my 5-day challenge. But
Yeah.
if anyone
Oh,
wants
fabulous.
to join it, so the 5-day challenge is free. So it's a little just introduction of how I work with people.
Yeah.
Um, and then I also work one-to-one with people as well. So depending what they're
Depending on what
looking for,
people.
really. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. When you work one to one with people, what kind of things do you offer? Is it a kind of blend of what people want, from fitness to nutrition to yoga?
Yeah, so I've kind of moved. It used to be sort of anyone and everyone, fitness, strength,
Yeah.
but now I've kind of moved over more sort of looking at from a holistic point of view. So women at our perimenopause, menopause
Mm.
stage, and once again, incorporating the Ayurveda, the yoga, the
Mm.
the training, the fitness. So giving
Yeah.
that whole holistic approach and really identifying where they're struggling. So with that one-to-one approach, obviously we can identify where they're out of balance and how
Mm.
they need to, and just working with them on like either a structured timeline or an ongoing basis to help them
Yeah.
resolve and get them to where they want to be. But the 8-week program, it's still going to be quite a small group
Mm.
coaching, so it would be like online weekly coaching, and then interactions throughout the week as well, and different things to do. So really helping
Yeah.
people just understand the ins and outs of what's going on with them, really, and
Yeah.
how to manage it.
Mm. And create their own sort of programs, I suppose, that
Yeah,
work for them
yeah. So given
individually, opposed to sort of that one size fits all.
yes,
So
yeah.
yeah.
So it's just explaining like the bigger picture, just stepping back and seeing how what where they feel out of balance,
Yeah.
what they want to achieve. So it's helping us really empowering people, to helping them overcome
Mm.
what they're struggling with, so they can move on into that next stage of life, and
Yeah.
really trying to be as healthy. And they always say like they're becoming what was it, the 50s is the new is that right?
50s is the
40s,
new 40s.
50s new
Yeah.
40s, actually maybe the 70s and the 90s, the new
Yeah.
70s. So it's like
Yeah.
taking health into our life going
Yeah.
forward. So it's really
Yeah.
just setting ourselves up as a foundation of health for the future.
Yeah. Oh, that's brilliant. Yeah.
So that's
Um,
yeah, that's the idea.
what I'll do is, when the video's loaded to the page, I'll send the link for them. So anybody that wants to join your 5-day challenge can do, because you said that's free, isn't
Yes.
it? So it
Yeah,
just gives
yeah,
people a little bit of a taster of what it is you do, and hopefully set
yeah,
people up for anything that they need, and just give them that little bit of
yeah,
wisdom there as
definitely.
well. And I'll put your website link as well,
That's
so
great. Yeah.
that people can
Yeah, so I've got the 5-day challenge that's available now, which is like a self-paced one. So whether they
yeah,
want to take 5 days or want to take 10 days to do it, they can.
yeah,
And then I've got an online, it'll be a live program, like on
that's the live
Facebook,
one. Yeah.
live program, 5 days.
Mm.
That will be more kind of focused around like that detox and vitality. So
Yeah.
2 different things there that are free, and then
Yeah.
past that will be my 8-week program. But
Program
yeah,
as well.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, maybe we've got all those links and bits in the page so people can
Yes. Yeah.
have a little look and join if they want to. That'd be brilliant. So,
Yeah.
is there any sort of final bits you might want to point out to
Um,
people, or?
yeah, and more, I always think like looking at the if you can take kind of one key from it is like really understanding the importance of our circadian rhythm. It's
Mm,
like really mentioning back to aligning with
mm,
nature, bringing
mm,
ourselves back into balance as much as possible. You're going to see huge shift in it. So looking at when you're eating,
mm,
so rather than
mm.
just what you're having and what you're doing, it's like when are you doing it?
Yeah.
And I think even just by making those small shifts alone, you're going to see a lot of difference. So
Mm,
even if people are, another thing, if people are exercising at 8 9 p.m. at night, so
mm.
I've that I teach like hot yoga as well, and some of their classes are 8 o'clock at night, and like it's like, why would you be doing like a power hot pod flow at 8 p.m. at night? It's not ideal. So it's really understanding what you exercise, when and what you're doing. So your
Yeah.
lifestyle,
Mm,
the choices of foods that you have when you're eating.
yeah.
Yeah, that's like, yeah. If people can get that, like how their body clock works, then they're
Mm,
onto a good start.
yeah. Exactly. I don't know if anybody that's in there watching this at the moment have got any quick questions while Karen's still here. Have a little look. I mean, obviously, if you're watching it on replay, you can still comment below because obviously Karen is in the page. So any questions you've got, she can answer for you. So I don't know if
Yeah,
any
sure.
questions. Nothing's coming up yet.
There's so much to cover, isn't there? It's like you could just
I
go on
know.
forever. It's just finding. But yeah, happy to ask any questions at any time. People want to
Yeah.
just put it in the group.
Yeah, just pop it in the group and then myself or Karen can come back to you. So, but thank you, Karen. Really enjoyed
You're
that. It's
welcome.
really
Thank you so
interesting.
much.
So I'm sure it's been very beneficial for those that are watching and anybody that catches up. So, and again, once the video is actually live on the page, I'll pop some links down to all the different things that you've got going on at the moment and what's coming up, so people can join in. So
Yeah, lovely. So
yeah,
thank you so much for having me
yeah.
on. It's
Thank you
been
for
lovely
coming.
chatting. Thank
Yeah, you
you.
too. Well, take care
Yeah, you
and
too.
I'll
Enjoy
speak
the
to you soon.
sunshine. See you
See you
soon.
later.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.